Hello everyone, so we've got some big news today. The Switch 2, well, it is a thing. So let's read over the official announcements from Nintendo. This is Furukawa, president of Nintendo. We will be announcing the successor to the Switch during this fiscal year for the first time in 9 years since we announced the existence of the Nintendo Switch in March 2015. We will also be holding a Nintendo Direct in June to announce the Switch software lineup for the second half of 2024, but this will not include the successor model. Please do not misunderstand. So let's basically break this whole thing down. The fiscal year is measured from the start of April to the end of March. It's not, January to December like it is for a normal year. This is basically a business thing. So what this means is we will get the announcement for the Switch 2 anytime from now until the end of March. Likely, they will be announcing the Switch 2 later this year, around October, and then releasing the Switch 2 maybe close to April of next year. Which is actually confirming a lot of what we have been speculating for a while, that they were going to be focusing this year on the Switch and then transitioning into the Switch 2 next year. What this also means is it implies backwards compatibility, which means that Pokemon Home is going to be used instead of a new Pokemon Home 2.0 software, so we're not going to need to transfer again with a limited time software. And this also implies backwards compatibility. There's actually rumors swirling that games like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and Mario Odyssey will actually be having update patches to be more optimized for the Switch successor, the Switch 2. Switch 2 is not an official term yet. We don't actually know what it's going to be, what it's going to be called, but that's basically just the preliminary name for it right now. But if you guys haven't done so already, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more. We've got a whole lot more to talk about with this, and we've got a couple more video projects coming up in the future, some Godzilla-related things, and Pokemon battling things, as well as some blind Let's Plays of Mario games. Because yes, I've never played a Mario game. Watch me suffer. But as for the Switch 2, this is honestly something that we've all expecting for a while to come out. Very likely it's going to be coming out in March or February of 2025, 1 decade after the original release of the Switch. But this would also allow for a very significant buildup of time for Legends ZA. A lot of people are going to be buying the Switch 2 right when it comes out, and Legends ZA is very likely going to get its own special Pokemon rendition of the Switch 2. Now, does this mean that we're going to be getting Legends ZA Now, does this mean that we're going to be getting Legends ZA on the Switch and the Switch 2? Not so sure about that. It would kind of completely devalue the entire point of having the Legends ZA version of the Switch 2 if they make it on both game systems. So very likely it will be a Switch 2 exclusive, because the whole simultaneous release is simply it releases simultaneously everywhere in the world. So when it goes to, say, 12 o'clock AM Australian time, everywhere in the world actually gets access to the game. Not necessarily simultaneous release on Switch 1 and Switch 2. But this is something that we are actually kind of needing. This explains why there is going to be no new Pokemon game releasing this year, because they're instead spending that time on optimizing the games more for the Switch 2. This is something that we've kind of been noticing and, have kind of been basically bludgeoned over the head with regards to Pokemon games and just general games on the Switch, is its hardware is likely not powerful enough to do what Nintendo and Pokemon Company want to do with Pokemon games. With a more powerful system and a more optimized game engine, because remember, the Scarlet Violet game engine is just a retooled version of the Sword and Shield engine. With the Switch 2, very likely they're doing a whole top-to-bottom brand new game engine. Because that's where the biggest time and money sink of developing a game is going to be, the game engine. That's why they tend to reuse game engines. And so now they have a complete top-to-bottom reason to start back over square one. They stuck with the older Sword and Shield engine purely because with Scarlet Violet, it was the last game on the Switch. It would have been a huge money sink to go and build a new game engine, and then Sure, they could reuse it for the Switch 2, but it would be underperforming compared to what the Switch 2 is capable of doing, and the same arguments basically be leveled against it anyway. It was kind of a lose-lose situation for Scarlet Violet anyway. Which is very likely why we're getting Legends ZA as the first Pokemon game on the Switch 2. It's going to be a much more limited scope game, a lot like Pokemon Legends Arceus, where it's going to be probably a glorified tech demo for the Pokemon games going forward, as a way to sort of test the waters, and basically they will have the immunity shield of, well, it's a new type of game, so criticism will basically be deflected against it, a lot like what happened with Legends Arceus. As many of the issues that do exist within Legends Arceus are present, as many of the issues present in Scarlet Violet actually have their roots in issues of Legends Arceus that were not as overt, but also were never really able to be discussed because a lot of the discourse around that game was that it was perfect. But this is looking up for us. I mean, Switch 2's coming on the way. Again, if you guys haven't done so already, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more, comment your thoughts below, and I'll see you next time, along with the Kaiju King.